finally time to install the Greddy front lip, and this is actually the second video I'm recording. The first one I did do scrap because I wanted to paint this in a two-tone color, so orange on the top portion of it, but it was difficult to find a color that did match. We only had 3 samples and I didn't want to go through all that process of finding potentially a different painter and so on that could match it well to the car. So what I decided to do was to scrap that first video, and now we do have this wrapped in a gloss black color. Hopefully this comes through in the video, and the reason for why it is wrapped or painted then potentially depending on what you want to do is because the splitter do come untreated, so you need to have some sort of a protection for the plastic, otherwise it will get ruined over time. And this time around I went for the wrap, and potentially we'll see if we will have this painted, if I can ever get this off the car again, and I will explain what I mean with that in just a bit. So this has then been wrapped, and the intention of today's video is to have this installed. I have had it loosely installed. While I'm saying that, this splitter is not installed loosely, so to speak. It is very stretched and tight in the ends where it's supposed to tuck into the wheel wells, but I'll show you what I mean. So hopefully, I guess we only have one try, because I'll show you I have 3M tape all over the place as well, which we need to redo, and yeah, it will be a mess. So hopefully we will get it right for the first time, and I'll be doing that together with you in this video. And I can show you then. So we do get instructions, but these instructions are in Japanese, but it's a quite straightforward process. What we do have is some hardware, as you can see, hopefully self tappers, and then we do have these brackets which need to go into the wheel wells. So these are the 2 only hardware spots we have, 1 on each side then. So that is that, and also the kit do come with some sort of a tape as well, but I did use my own VHB tape. Let me show you here. This is the one I will be using, so it's the VHB tape 5952F, and you get the measurements here. The ones I'm using, it's 1.1 millimeter thick, 19 times 3 meters. So I got this off of Amazon, so I can link it down below if you want to buy something similar for yourself. What I will do in a separate video is to install the side skirts, which we do have here. The reason for that is obviously if I want to focus on the splitter in this video, but the installation of the side skirts I will do a little bit differently compared to what the installation says how we need to do it, because we usually need to drill into the rocker panels, and I don't want to do that. I have a separate solution for that that will hopefully work. So the intention then is get this thing installed. It looks really cool when I have loosely mounted it on the car, but we'll see when we drive the car outside, and hopefully it will look as great as it does in here. If you did like today's video, give it a thumbs up, and also do remember to subscribe for future content. But with that said, let's get on with the installation. Before we get on with the next steps, I just wanted to show you how I have taped this. So this has been flipped. So this needs to be flipped this direction, so this portion here will go on top of the front bumper there. And this is what I was talking about earlier when I say it will be a mess with regards to the 3M tape. I have applied more 3M tape than what the instructions say. I think it was a portion here, and then a portion there, and a portion there. But the reason why I have applied the tape all over is to minimize the risk of getting any debris behind the splitter and then potentially damaging the PPF that I do have on my car, and then at the end also damaging the front bumper. So I wanted to reduce that risk to the extent possible by applying quite a bit of tape then. However, the portion which I mentioned and that will get tricky is because once we have the backing tape removed and everything, and we need to redo something, then we will be in a bit of a trouble, because this all will then be stuck to the car. However, as you usually do with tapes like this, is then you remove a bit of the backing tape so you have something to peel on, but you do not peel off everything until you have the thing or that you want to mount and fully mounted or in the position that you want it, and then you would remove the backing tape. However, in these portions here, And some other places I need to remove the backing tape before we do the installation, so we will see how that goes. The next step of the installation is to actually drill one 5mm hole here somewhere and one on the other side, so we'll get the car up in there. I think I will remove the wheel as well just to give us some more room, or we can maybe turn the wheel only, but we will see how we do that. And that is for the self tappers, which I showed you earlier, and once that is done, we can then continue with the installation of the splitter itself. According to the instructions, we need to get one of these fasteners in behind this shield here, and we need to remove these two pins. So these are push pins, and as you know, with these you just insert a screwdriver or similar in the middle portion, pull that out, then the whole pin comes out, and we do the next with the second one, like so. And then we can peel this back a little bit, and then I don't know if this comes through here. So here we do have another plastic, I don't know what that is, liner. Well, we need to then get this piece in here. Yeah, you get the idea. I can't do this with one hand now, but this needs to go in and sit where we will drill this 5.5mm hole right here somewhere. So this hole here, the hole here, is for where we need to have this fastener then positioned behind this inner liner. In order for me to know where to drill, I will mount one side of the splitter first and then make a marking with a similar tool like this, or if you have a hole punch or similar, then you would know where to drill. Then we will take this side off and do it with the other side. Why I'm doing this one side at a time is because the tension is crazy when you have one side on, and if you get the other side on, it's more or less impossible to remove it. So I will do one side at a time. Maybe it will be different on your car, I don't know. And also I did apply some masking tape here so we don't drag this portion of the splitter onto the paint then, or the PPF that I have in my case. That's just a safety measure. So what I will do is then mount one side provisionally, and then we will mark it, and then we will do the same thing with the other side, and then we'll drill, and then we can continue with the installation. So these brackets needs to go in from this direction, so you can put it approximately where the hole needs to be, and then it will go in somewhere like this, and then it will align it to where your hole needs to be, drill the hole, and then use this as a holder for the tapper then. This is just to strengthen this part because this is just plastic, so we have at least some metal part then to attach the self tapper to. So I will drill my hole where I did the marking. So we should see this bracket here somewhere. Well, that should be good. Maybe a little bit up. There we have it. The last step is then to get the splitter onto the car. I'm contemplating, should I do one side at a time or mount it centered and then try to do both sides at a time, so to speak, or do one side at a time. We'll see how that goes. We need to prep the surface so the car as such is clean, but I will go over it with an IPA or similar where we have the tape then positioned so it bonds perfectly with the PPF that we have on the car. I have decided to do like a hybrid. As you can see, we have all this tape, and I'm worried if I do get it wrong, it will be very problematic. So we will try to center this in one go, and then we will try to push one side in and then the other side, and hopefully we will get it in and also be able to remove the tape wherever it needs to be moved. In some places I have already removed the backing tape. So let's keep our thumbs crossed. If we can grab hold of this side and push it in, and then we'll take the other side. Man, I'm worried about my PPF. Here it goes. this side. Let's see. Oh boy, oh boy. There we go. Right here. It's sitting. Here it's sitting much better. So we have it on, but this side, I don't think it's sitting, as you can hear, as nice as this side. But we'll leave it at that. We need to take our 2 screws and then we will be able to finish this off, hopefully. And the last step is to get our hardware in. And I didn't bother about putting the last push pin in. I think this screw will do enough. And then we have this one up here holding it in place as well, so it should be fine. There we go. And then we have the last push pin here. Let's tuck this in nicely. Like that. There is actually one more thing we need to install before we are finished with the install, and that is the badge, the Greddy badge. And hopefully we can get this straight. No. Yes. Is it straight? Can't see. It's good enough, I would say. So let's press it down. We can always redo it if needed. There we have it installed, and it's looking very aggressive. The front end looks much meaner than before. We do need to take note of that we are in a slight uphill, so it will be tilted down a little bit more and we will have a little bit more aggressive stance. This is not for everybody with regards to how much black we have contrasting the orange. That in itself makes it much more aggressive than it is, and we will see again then later this year or maybe next year then if we will do a two-tone paint, meaning we will have some orange going on the top portion of the splitter. We do have a natural line here on the splitter itself. I don't know if this comes through, but it goes here across all of it, and I think the idea is to have that portion then in the body color of the car. But when we have the side skirts installed as well, the OEM appearance package side skirts, I think that will tie it in very nicely. Now it looks a little bit off when we don't have anything that balances out on the sides, but again then in my opinion it's looking great. However, I did have a little bit of anxiety when I was installing the left side, looking at it from this view. Then once we had that side on and then we wanted to do this side, it was a lot of hard pulling to get this side on, but it came out great. However, this side here is not attached properly, or I don't know if it's the molding or if it's the fact that I have too much tape, but this side is not sitting properly on the fender. There is a little bit of a gap here. We don't have that on the other side, but that is nothing that you would see, but still I know that it's there. It bugs me a bit, but that's the way it is. There we have it. If you have any questions, comments. Do you think I'm an idiot installing this, or do you like it? Let me know in the comment sections below. Do give this video a thumbs up if you did like it, if it was informational with the regards to that this is nothing for you, or maybe you want to do it, but it came out really great in my opinion. So that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be seeing you on the next one.